out, he dead. Who is you? Not my camp. Who in there? Uncle Sam. She taught me for my mans. That's on me, that shit's down.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Mina and welcome back to my channel. And today I'll be working with Jeanette Collection as they sent me this DIY wig kit. I just want to start off by saying if this is your first time making a wig, this is the wig kit for you. It came with this 13x6 frontal, quote unquote, because I wouldn't really call it a frontal. It just has like the edges for the frontal, which I still think is really good if you like frontals. It also came with 3 bundles, nice and full. The wefts are amazing. It came with an 18, a 20, and a 22. The DIY kit also includes the tools that you will need to make and construct your wig, such as the wig cap and some clips. They also sent me a dome canvas mannequin head, which is really essential when you're trying to make a wig. It is a 22-inch dome mannequin head, which is the size of my head, and you want to get the size of yours. With the mannequin head, it also came with more tools. It came with wig mirror remover, and it also came with glue. It also came with this pamphlet on how to construct and do your wig, which I think is really useful. It came with the stand you have to put your dome wig on. It also came with needle and thread. So let's get right into the process. Okay, so first and foremost, you want to put your wig cap on the mannequin head. And let's just say I did not have my regular wig cap that I usually wear. I didn't get one from the beauty supply store, and I was so upset. The next thing you want to do is put your lace front on your mannequin head on the cap, and you want to put it 2 inches in front of the cap and, you know, pin it down. But like, I was struggling trying to pin this like frontal on this cap, like y'all don't know. So like, I had to edit so much out because the wig cap was like not one I was used to, so I had to like switch it up a little. Once me and the frontal stopped fighting and I finally got it down and laid how I wanted it to be, I started to sew the frontal on finally. And when I sew my frontals, I go in the band. You don't want to go like through the band. You want to go just where the fabric is at. And that's why I said with this type of cap that they sent me, and I didn't use my regular cap, it was kind of difficult, especially with the kind of frontal it was. Like, it was only like the edges part and it wasn't a full frontal. I was really confused, but what I did was just go around it how I usually would. And as you're seeing, I put my thread through the needle so it can have like a good tight knot, because the frontal is very important. After I sew my frontal down, I just cut the lace off of the frontal so I can get prepared to put the tracks onto this wig. Moving forward, if you have white eyeliner or chalk, you just want to put lines across the dome head and put your tracks on there to make it very simple, so you won't have any complications putting the tracks and spacing it out the way it needs to be spaced. Once you unravel your bundles, you just want to start sewing the tracks onto the cap. And this cap was like really kind of complicated for me. Like, I don't know, I just wasn't used to this kind of cap, but I just sewed it on how I would do with any other kind of wig. When I first sewed the track on the cap, I go through the track, and after that I just go around the track, like up and up, like under and up with the track. I try to sew as neatly as possible because the tracks won't have a mess and I won't have string everywhere. But same thing I did for the frontal, I sew through the thread so it can be nice and secure. If you're honestly new at constructing wigs, trust me, it'll get better when you practice. You just have to do trial and error. But it's honestly sewing how you would sew something up like your clothes. And once I get to the end of the track, I did cut this track and I just sewed it down so it could be secure and it wouldn't fly away, or when I pulled the hair, the tracks wouldn't get loose at all. As you continue to sew your make your wig, you want to make sure you're being spacious and mindful of how you're going through your bundles, because I did almost like didn't have enough to go through to fill the whole head up, because I wasn't really spacing it out the right way. I was trying to do it a little closer for it to be a little fuller, but then I realized I was running out of hair, so I had to go back and fix everything. But I did make it work, and once I got to the top, I just sewed it very closely and I secured everything so it can look nice and neat. Once the tracks are all in, it's time to pluck that frontal, sis. Now, I'm just wetting the hair so all the flyaways can be pushed back and I can see clearly on where I am plucking at. And I just really just pluck lightly, honestly. So now I'm just pinning down the lace so everything can be nice and stable. Now when you're plucking this, you do want to be mindful not to over pluck the sides, because there's only so much edges that you don't want to over pluck the lace. The frontal was already pre-plucked, so I didn't have to do too much maintenance, but as you can see, it looks nice and natural. Okay, let's get to the fun part, applying and slaying that wig. I did not do the wig cap method, but I did put makeup on my cap to make it more realistic. So before I put the glue down, they did send me this guard and grip primer, a primer that you put down before you put your lace on. This is supposed to be used before you put the adhesive on and protects your edges and straightens the adhesive when you put the wig on. They also sent me Centris lace glue remover, and you can't forget the lace glue. So with that being said, all I do is I cut my lace into sections so it'll be easier to apply when I do put the lace on my head. And I just let it dry. I do put 2 layers of glue, as you can see, to make sure that it is strongly withheld on my head, because I do let my wigs on for about like 5 days before I like reapply it again. And I do this very carefully, very carefully, because if you mess up, you're gonna have to start all over. So you want to make sure you're being careful, making sure you're pressing that lace onto your scalp as neatly as possible. Pin your hair back if you need to. There is no rush in this process. I take my time every time I put my wigs on so they can look as melted as possible. Here I'm just cutting the ear tab off because the frontal was too long for me, so the extra piece, I'm just snipping that away, no biggie. And I'm laying the wig down. I let this dry for about a good 5 minutes, and I come back, let it go, and voila, your lace is snatched, honey. Now with this part, I do find that a razor will give you better results when you're cutting the lace, so it can look more realistic. This was actually my first time using a razor and not scissors, and I'm so happy I did it. But I don't know if you can tell, but when I applied this wig, I did do it a little lopsided, but when I put the baby hairs down, it helped like to make an illusion that everything was even. But that's what I'm telling you, be careful when you're putting on your lace, because there's no going back and you have to start all over. One con I can say about this hair, like it's very thin at the bottoms, but I kind of don't mind it because when I curled it, it was better. Now here I am just starting to do my baby hairs, and I really didn't want to do too much baby hairs. I just wanted to do like a little whoosh, because I like how it does like look realistic coming out of my scalp. It doesn't look too bulky or anything like that. And I will be trying non-baby hair look soon, because I'm really getting into that look. But I feel like baby's hairs always just makes your hair like stand out even more. But as I was saying before, the hair at the end of this wig that I made was fairly thin. I was thinking about cutting it into a bob, but after I styled it and curled it, I really did like the way it looked. So I am almost done this full process with laying my wig on. One extra step I do is I get concealer and I put it on the part to make it more realistic. I did bleach these knots, but the bleach didn't take that well, and by the time I noticed, the frontal was already dry. So I did just put the concealer in the front. The knots did bleach, so it wasn't that bad. And I also put powder with the regular wet concealer to make it look even more realistic. So this is the end of this video. I really like how the hair came out. As you can see, like, it is a little bit thin at the ends, but I really don't mind because it's still flawless. Other than that, the hair is soft, it has no smell, and if you're a beginner, this wig kit is just for you. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you pretty ladies in the next video. Bye.